Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Misguided Penmanship. I'm Spider-Man.
I'm Spider-Man.
And we decided to choose the classic Spider-Man suit. Just kidding, we're Spider-Man Miles 2099.
I know it may be a
forget how far
shocker.
we are from this mission.
Don't worry, I can speedrun over
You
it.
can also fast travel.
Dang it.
Fast travel doesn't exist in this game. What do you mean? I never fast travel.
We've only done it twice in this game.
Unless I absolutely had to, I never fast travel. I just love
You
this
fast traveled in the last episode.
game. Oh, you told me to.
I wanted to see if it would.
So my thing with fast traveling is it just feels wrong.
Also, I want to point out, you may think this is weird. Me playing as...
Miguel O'Hara.
No, this is not Miguel. This is Miles. I don't mind the 2099 year. I just absolutely hate Miguel with a burning passion.
How the fuck is that?
Did you splash your inside of your glasses with Mountain Dew?
But also, why would I fast travel when I can literally just like dance in the air?
Here's the thing, Chris. I'm shitty with the web slinging.
Just take practice, man. We're almost
Especially this one. The web swinging in this one is just a hair nicer than the last one.
Is the Prowler coming to get me? Is he waiting till after this cutscene? Wait, I gotta go faster. I don't have any boost anymore. It's not letting me boost, guys. Like, I'm not even joking. I think he's waiting till after. Wait, okay, I think we're good.
Wait, who? What?
Damn, can I remember from last time?
Is this the moment where he comes to pick me up?
Yes. Yeah, we get to that, and then he fucking just decks us, more or less.
Is it when we get there?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why my boost went away, though. That's what scares me. I think.
Yeah, I want to say it's when we get there he gets us.
I
Because
thought he.
we have to get to Simon Krieger somehow.
I
We
thought
haven't
he,
done that scene yet.
I think he's just waiting.
Yeah, because we're going to go do the Simon Krieger thing where we see that they upgraded Rhino. Remember?
Oh, I lost all that momentum. I'm sad. If he comes and kidnaps me, as soon as she feeds, don't leave me. No.
So actually, we might have a little more than an episode.
Well, it depends on.
I made it. I did it.
Yeah, because we get here, he talks to her, and then Prowler shows up.
No, it doesn't he kidnap us later, after we break free, and then we go to confront Finn for the final time, and then Prowler's like, "Side quest, bitch."
What if I killed you?
Maybe. I know either way, we have to do the Krieger thing first.
Or we just say, screw it, and just binge this entire episode for the last episode.
We could. There's not a lot of content left.
I love his eyes, because they just look cold, and then I'm like, what is the lore behind those eyes?
I don't know. I don't know the lore of this one. And yeah, I have the phone to look it up. But you know what I'm not going to do? Look it up.
Your taxes.
Oh, I'm going to do my taxes.
As long as the government is watching.
I'm actually going to ask.
So did I.
Can you please finish that story from earlier?
Why'd you pick here?
Are you talking about
From episode 1, yeah.
the
I want the
Halloween
story
one?
from episode 1 to end.
Ah. We have come full circle. Your questions will be answered eventually.
God damn it.
If I remember this episode too. But we can't do it too early. We gotta
Okay,
build
okay.
the suspense.
Alright. So how about we say after the 20-minute mark? You go for it?
You think we're gonna get to the 20-minute mark? I'm gonna start
I-
skipping cinematics.
Please don't.
The last run is gonna take like 5 minutes because I'm just gonna skip all the cinematics and we beat the game.
Yeah.
This game is an extra like 30 minutes long because of these cutscenes.
Only 30 minutes long.
Only 30.
Oh yeah, it's right. I can like fucks our cheeks.
Yeah, Rhino.
Comes in and fucks our cheeks, he says.
I went to say claps, and then I also went to say fucks us up, and so that's what came out.
Fucks our cheeks.
Finn is dead. I don't care if you have superpowers. Or if you
He
don't.
doesn't have superpowers. So yeah,
I don't care if you have
agree.
armor. He just slammed into you. Yeah, you know what doesn't have his armor on? His face. Just beat his mouth.
Beat his teeth.
Hear me out. We do the Ant-Man.
Ant-Man versus Thanos.
I want to point out that
Ant-Man could have beat Thanos in the first encounter.
I want to point out that in the Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man couldn't handle a Kingpin hit like that. Meanwhile, Miles could take a full beating. So, like, that Spider-Man Miguel wasn't perfect. Fuck you, Miguel. I hate you. You thought that I was just making a joke saying Miles is pretty durable? No, it's secretly just backstabbing Miguel because I see the 2099.
You know,
This is our most secure facility.
I don't know what it is about his character model, but I can't look at him without not thinking of Topher Grace.
I also
guy from
can't
that
look at
70s
him
show.
without looking over at Chris.
I was waiting for it.
Like, I get that. I do. Like, I can definitely see it. The blue eyes, blonde hair, you know, like, yeah.
Whoa.
Are you sure you're not sure?
What? I'm not German.
Damn.
You're what?
I'm German.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
I am mostly German. My
Yeah,
father
yeah,
was born
I
in
was
Germany.
Say, like, his last name kind of also gets that. So what?
It was a joke.
Okay.
Is it a German last name?
I feel like it's very German. It doesn't feel
Because I
American.
lied. I'm actually Scottish.
I was gonna say it's not American.
Because I lied again. I'm actually American.
He lied again. He's
You know what? Let's look it up right now because I'm just
South
curious.
African.
Obviously, I'm not gonna say your full last name on camera here.
Spriggs. I will dox myself. It's Spriggs.
He's keeper.
What, you mean
Ah,
Krager?
I
Krager.
fucking told you.
Level bioengineering.
Occupational name:
Smells like Jamaican.
dealing with Middle High German
That smells like
origin.
I told you my father was born in Germany.
But you said you were joking. What part? How many layers deep does this joke go?
I lied. You were told to stay away. I lied.
I want to play that game just because of that clip.
And then stop playing.
The thing is, I love those games.
time to finish what we
They're
oh.
so
Oh, it's those games?
yeah, the Force Unleashed games. They're really good.
I lied.
Like they're just a hack and slash beat 'em up game, and they're a lot of fun because it's like
POV, COVID versus my Flintstone vitamin gummies I ate when I was 6.
because like, the thing about
I ate all 6.
Force
Come
Unleashed
at me now.
is despite it not being like anything canonical, like by any means, it is such a fun game because you play such an overpowered character that it's ridiculous, right? Like part of the thing you can do in the game is you can just kill and kidnap and convert like every other like main Star Wars character. Like you can make Luke Skywalker your apprentice to the dark side. You can just fucking one hit Han Solo, Chewbacca.
To be fair, that's not far off the canon.
No, definitely not. Like it's a lot of fun because it's like
I was only referencing the Han Solo part.
I know what you're referring to. And like
what
it's
I
just
do
it's
when
a
I
lot
know
of fun.
Let's find a way.
I love the concept of Kylo Ren's lightsaber. I wish it was there's an actual reason behind it though.
The cross guard.
Where like how it was a broken crystal. Like
Oh.
why wouldn't he just get a new crystal?
Well, okay, so the reason he wouldn't is because actually, when the Empire took over, they destroyed all crystals so that the Jedi couldn't find a way
Hear me
to.
out. Hear me out. We go with the original idea that George Lucas had. And sorry to interrupt you. I just thought of it. But we go with the original idea of a stormtrooper becoming a Jedi. And then we give the stormtrooper the broken lightsaber when he's becoming a Jedi as a metaphor for the fact that he is kind of not supposed to be the chosen one, but he is.
Yeah,
because
he's like broken, but he's also like the fact that since the Jedi are kind of dead at this point, like at this point in time, like no one knows where fucking Luke Skywalker is. Luke Skywalker could be dead. There's no Jedi Order.
his lightsaber should be gray.
I don't disagree. I
Because-
think there's a lot of fun potential with the original idea,
It's not
and
wrong.
even the original script for Episode 9 would have been a lot better than what we got.
There's a lot of things that would have been better than what we got for those for those.
We should
3.
do a Star Wars themed D&D campaign.
I would be down for it.
There's
I
a-
would too. Can
there's
I
a whole
be a slime, a space slime?
There's a whole system for it
There's
called Saga. It is
I've looked into it. There's also a cowboy one I want to do. There's a whole bunch of D&D campaigns I want to do, but what I've discovered is I don't have time for all of them, especially if they become like long-term campaigns, right? Like one-shots or like a few like mini sessions would be better almost for some of those because it's like I said.
that guy stayed in the air long enough
Oh.
for me to beat the shit out of him. Thank you, good sir.
Because there was one we were talking about not that long ago where we wanted to do one where there would be 4 main players.
4 main players.
Yes, based on the thing that's sitting in the middle of the table right now.
Oh.
The red thing in the middle of the table.
My salted nut roll.
No.
Oh, oh yeah. Yeah, my salted nut
Jump
roll.
up, kick back,
Whip around. and
swim.
That was mentioned before.
Yeah, we did talk about that. I feel like it'd be a lot of fun because it'd be fucking stupid, but it'd be fun, you know? But like, there's so many games where it's like, oh, this would be such a great idea, this would be fun, and it's just like, fuck. I have to have the time.
You have time? What's that?
I said I'd have to have the time, which I
Oh, you don't. Well, neither do I. So.
You can't break through the glass.
don't. There's a door.
I know, but I wanted to break through the glass. Just like at the beginning of this game when I was like, oh, I'll break the window instead of taking the door next to me.
Triggering the override.
Who knows, the door could be a trap.
Okay, so I did not ignore your message. How do you like the controller, Chris?
Can't believe they got away with this.
What message?
Can do.
Didn't your dad get you the controller?
Your pops.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought you already messaged me back. You said nice.
Did I?
Yes, you did. But I love it. It's great. It's a nice new controller. It is the Spider-Man one. I don't need the whole
I
concept.
honestly don't remember you responding to it. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. You just said neat or nice or whatever.
I was probably half asleep, to be honest.
Probably.
Here's the deal, bud.
But anyways, I just want to say, that's awesome. Like, I wish I had mine, but
I mean, you caught
it hasn't come in yet, so we'd be sad.
Well, I mean, you caught them, but it was thanks to your intel. So
I love how just massive rhino just.
Yeah, I noticed that earlier in the cutscenes when he was standing by the door when it first opened. It was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
the kid. I love how you say that. It's just so paternal.
I'm surprised like he hasn't understood that he has a connection to him.
He probably has, but he's trying to find a way to like
Make him
leverage.
trip up.
Kind of, he was just saying like a way to like use it against him, you know?
I guess.
I've seen things. New form making people sick.
Because like Simon Krieger knew they were gonna break in to blow up that reactor. You know, he let it happen so that he could get away killing him. So it's like kind of like that. You know, it's like he probably has an idea, but he's like, I've got to find the right time to exploit that.
We both know you're a little too self-serving.
Or maybe he just hasn't picked up on it.
So
I love whenever the guys say leverage is like, I'll go public with everything, but like you will have to expose yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
Just make an anonymous tip, bro.
See, the thing is with anonymous tips, they can go one of two ways, right? Either they fully believe you and 100% just do it, or they go into 100% skepticism and the person has time to backtrack it, you know, more or less.
Wow, that was so extra, Miles. But yet again, that's what Miles does, is just extra.
Does that make sense at least, Chris? You know?
Oh yeah, I am understanding.
So, like, I don't know.
Goddamn. It was too strong.
there has to be an explanation. I didn't know this was
Oh, I hate puzzles.
Yeah, at least this isn't hard, it's just tedious in my opinion.
Control room we have to get into.
so we need
Yes, I know which room I have to get into, thank you.
It needs power.
Are you sure?
Let me see what I can do.
This is like my third or fourth time doing this.
There. Got power.
So I am pretty confident in my abilities, maybe.
Alrighty, guys.
But I can move machinery. Like that crane.
We have just over a month.
I'll look around.
Spider-Man 2.
They built engines
Oh,
for
okay,
the
that scared me.
PCs in here.
I was like, what do you mean?
Spider-Man 2 comes out on the 20th of next month.
Engine.
Is there
Got an idea.
anything
Can you move the crane back?
you really want to see added in, like, mechanically?
I want a mechanically you.
Mhm.
I don't think about mechanics. I'm not a car person.
Jet shoes.
Like, I know, like, obviously one of the things that they've shown off in the trailer is, like, the web wings, the spider arms.
Needs a new power source.
Is there anything like
you can
that?
use them in traversal.
The web wings, yes, you can use traversally. The iron spider arms are
I
more
see.
combat specific. Does that make sense?
Oh.
Nice.
To be honest, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I would have been entirely comfy with them not changing a thing about it.
Okay.
But the fact that mechanically they did update it and made it look nice, like they gave me what I wanted, like double stealth takedowns, so I don't have to do each and every person on their own. But honestly, I'm just more excited to see what costumes we get. Because of course, though I doubt we are actually going to get it, there was the theory and speculation going around that every skin is going to have a venomized version of itself.
Yes.
And if that's the case, and they bring back, like, if they bring back the clone skins at all at some point, I'm gonna lose my marbles, bro.
I can actually completely agree with that, and I feel like there's a good chance that that'll be a thing because in the pre-order skins that we've seen, they each have their own color, like, section now, where you can change the colors of them, right? Really? You didn't know that? Yes, so
You
even
can
like
change the
Arachnite,
color?
you can like it has like 5 different color set that you can change it through or cycle through,
Dude,
which is very neat. So it gives you like a whole bunch more options, right?
But my only concern is that if that's the case, how many skins did they do that for? Because if they didn't do it for a lot, as in like they don't have a variety, I'll be sad. Mechanically, I hope they don't make us have to wear a particular skin at the end of the game. I know they changed that with Miles, but they didn't with the first one, and it makes me kind of sad. I wish that like I could pick whatever suit I wanted to wear. And I know technically the anti-ox suit is like on top of the suit, so like even if you just gave us like the reskin like of the bottom one, we don't even...
I will disagree with you for one reason and one reason only, right? The same reason why in the scene where Miles finally gets his suit, it's gonna make you force that suit on anyways. It's something pivotal in the story, and I feel like it's a good reason to put it in. You know, like I understand your point where it's like, oh, like I would be okay if they disable it for like a new game plus, you know, like that would make sense to me, right? But like, say like you're playing through on your first time, I feel like it should definitely be locked, you know.
I feel as though they should give us the choice in the matter. I think that just makes everything easier. Like, I think they should give us the pivotal moment where it changes suits, and then if you want to change suits right afterwards, you can. I'm not saying that, like how, like you said, pivotal moment, they changed it to the classic suit in this game. That's fine, that's great. But also, I immediately changed it back to the Bodega Cat suit at the time. And I like that. I like being able to have the choice of what I want to wear. Yo, I went through that Venom stuff.
I don't know. I don't have, like I said, a very like harsh opinion or anything. Like I said, I think that it should be in there just because, like I said, it makes sense. It's meant to be a story-based game, and if that's what they want the scene to be and want it to be that pivotal, then go for it, right? In my opinion. But like, the new game plus, I think I agree with you more. The new game plus, just let us do what we want with the suit, you know? Because I feel like that's the best of both worlds, right?
I mean,
You get to tell the story the way you want, you know, but then also, as a player, we get to do exactly what we want the second time around.
I feel that when you have to do things to unlock, like, through a different playthrough, I feel that is... Why can't I climb this wall? I feel as though that it's trivial. It really depends. Like, I don't like the concept of you have to beat the game in order to enjoy these things. Or like when like you get like the coolest weapon at the end of the game, and then you can only play it through New Game Plus. Unless the game has a lot of replay value, which to be fair, if the other Spider-Man game is going to be anything like this one, it will. But I never enjoyed having to be forced to replay the game again just to be able to experience something.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can. As someone, like I said, I play a lot of story-based games, and a lot of times I play it once and I'm done. But there are times I'm like, hey, you know what, the game's worth playing again, you know, pretty fast afterwards. Like, for me, it was Spider-Man. I played Spider-Man all the way through each time the DLCs came out, back when they came out. So I played through the game once before the DLCs came out, played through it again right before the first one came out, and vice versa. I kept replaying it every time a DLC came out. And I've still replayed it time and time again after that game. So I love that game, it's a great game. But when it came to, like, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, I never saw a good reason to replay that game. There was no real benefit to replaying. Yes, you could unlock the rest of your cosmetics while replaying, if you didn't get them the first time, but your abilities are still locked again. So anything you unlocked in the story, like power-wise, it was still locked until you got it back in the story, you know? So that's just annoying. The cosmetics also were not worth replaying, in my opinion.
Yeah.
just stuff like that. It's like, I mean, I definitely see where you're coming from. Like, yes, sometimes the game does not have any worth of replay. But I feel like something like that would almost, I don't know, make it worth replaying too, you know? Like, have a certain amount of suits locked behind a New Game Plus version, you know?
That does not. Well, I do not like having things locked like that.
I don't know. I can see both sides to it. I can, like, I said, but like, there's gotta be a reason to replay a game if you want to have a replay feature, right? Mine is just like you can replay the game again.
That's true.
Because why would I just start a new save instead of a New Game Plus, right? I don't know. Like I think I'm trying to find.
Where
a
did
good
you
way.
come from?
He literally spawned on top of you.
God dang it. Oh, hang on. I got hit by the... Stop getting in the electricity, Miles. Please, Miles. Oh wait, I got both of them now. I got one of them now. Why? Miles, please, cooperate with me, bud. I know we've been through a lot. I know I've been calling your game kind of trash because it's like mid at best, but like, please.
I don't know. I feel like there's not a real good way to make a game replayable, like, forcefully, I guess, you know?
I think the best way to do it is something like Baldur's Gate and or Skyrim. Which do I expect them to do an open world game for a Spider-Man game? No, not at all. For like,
Well, you almost have an open world already.
I guess it's true.
And the map has expanded, like, ×5 in the next game, which is really exciting. But, I don't know. It's such a hard thing to balance.
That was a pretty quick fight. Aside from that mess up where I dropped it on top of the other thing.
Make sure he doesn't do anything. I'll be right back.
See, now I'm sitting here thinking, you're right. What would be the best way to sustain replay value?
The right way.
I think they did a good job with the skills, where it's like New Game Plus, you get a couple skills, I guess. Like, I don't know.
But like, also, like, in my opinion, another good way to do is like, say you do New Game Plus, and it allows you a new quest, not necessarily the line, but like a new collectible thing, which unlocks a new thing would be kind of neat. But at the same time, like, I see where you're coming from. Where it's like, well, why did that between the game in the first place, right? Like, it is such a double-edged sword.
See, we look at like, the problem is that if a game doesn't center around a new game, either New Game Plus or replayability, I don't want to have to play the game several times. I'd much rather be able to grind everything in one run and then get it all done. Because that's what I did with Spider-Man. I did everything in Spider-Man and then I beat the game. Or like for example, completely different game I know, but Hades. Hades is all about constantly replaying the game over and over.
Yes.
With each time you replay the game and certain things happen, you keep fighting certain bosses, you'll be able to unlock new stuff, and eventually new bosses appear. Excuse you, goddamn.
You know what?
What?
You know what game you can't do that in?
What?
The Persona game.
That's valid.
Because you're on a time crunch.
You know another game you can't do that in? Sifu.
Yeah.
The more you restart, the more it actually hinders you.
I don't like games that rely on time crunches. That is just my own opinion.
Well, the Persona isn't as much.
Spin the reactor. Come near me again. I'll kill you.
He gets out of here, and as soon as he gets out of here, he gets beaten by his uncle.
Family.
He just keeps getting destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
But I also want to point out, Persona 5 is still one of my favorite games, though. I'm like,
It's not really on a time crunch
Yes.
though.
I don't feel super pressured by Persona. It's like,
It's not a time crunch as much as it is a time planner.
yeah. Once you kind of figure out how you want to do things and what you want to do, it's super easy. And plus, if you play on baby mode, excuse me, and you do what I do and just want to enjoy the story, you can like level up a little bit, and then once you get to, or you play on a harder difficulty, grind for a while, and then go to an easier baby mode difficulty, then you are able to just breeze through it. Like, Baldur's Gate 3 also has a time crunch component in it too. If you take too many long rests, certain things will happen. Main plot will stay, meanwhile side quests won't. So what I've kind of focused on doing is just getting comfortable with the main plot where I like it to be, and then focusing on all the side missions first. And it's kind of hard to, well, not necessarily hard to dictate what's main plot, but one thing that I hate.
The
is,
only thing I remember about the main story of Baldur's Gate is you got the brain worm.
like that is the beginning of it, yes. But one thing that I hate is the concept of not being able to do everything, fully experience the game. And I know we're kind of segueing away, so to bring this back to the main portion of what we were talking about, I want to be able to fully experience the game my way. Like I
That's a double-edged sword because it's a neat feature to be like, all right, because I missed out on it, I can replay it and get it again, right? But then you're forced to replay it to accomplish things you were not able to the first time. And I understand how that's annoying because I've had experience with that too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It is such it's a double-edged sword because you can't make everyone happy.
It's true.
But what is the happy middle ground? You know?
It's in Persona 5 when you do the replay just to get the one last Persona.
I'll meet you outside.
Or you do what I did and just be able to have enough guts to say fuck you to that one guy. I don't remember what his name is, but all I know is that I literally wanted to replay the game so bad just because there wasn't enough guts when I first started the game, so that way I could be a dick to him. That's all I wanted. And then I did.
I kind of want to go buy Sifu now.
Sifu's gonna make me sad because
Whoa! He's using VS Code, bro.
Before me and your mom go door to door. Okay, cool.
what a
Such a
fucking
segue.
geek.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Have my back, man.
Daniel's been quiet this entire episode. Yo, VS Code.
I'm sorry that I've
No,
used
it's
that program.
It's a neat
before.
feature. I agree.
Maybe you
The
could
detail's
put
nice.
surveillance
Oh.
towers or-
And like he used proper formatting in his program. That's crazy.
Thanks, man.
Although I don't know what it was that he had on his screen. Also, it's like zoomed in really far.
piano. It's too late.
I hope he was. No, we're speedrunning this. We're not here to do the full consumption of the game.
I know.
We're here to commentate and not even talk about this game half the time.
It's
I
also
feel
funny
like-
because we never did the bird side quest in Spider-Man 1.
See if people need help.
We didn't
No, we
We talked about wanting to do it, and then we never did it.
because we were too busy just speedrunning it.
yeah, which is fine, right?
It is fine.
It leaves a lot of that extra stuff
for the people watching
How
to
much?
play. They haven't played
What
themselves.
time? What time have we hit?
I think we're at 27. Yeah, 27.
We still have to do the whole prowler and then the boss fight. And that boss fight includes me going through the streets. Do we want to try to get it? I'd assume this. Is
I mean,
probably
we
in-
started this game with an hour-long episode,
Might
so might as well
end.
finish it with an hour-long episode.
We should might as well finish it with like a 2-hour-long episode
You're right.
because I'm gonna fail at the boss fight.
You know what? You're right. Hey guys, so this is gonna be me saying now the almost 30-minute mark. We're gonna be here a while. Enjoy.
But
If you click on this episode and you see the time length and you clicked on it, good for you. If you sat this long, good for you. We're gonna finish in this one.
yeah, because now I'm just kind of moving around.
You
Yeah,
know
we're
what?
just gonna do
I will say I have enjoyed this channel because I'm not worried about all the stuff, and that's your guys' job. I like vibing here.
I think at the end of the day, we should just keep trying to do the things that make us happy.
I feel like that's kind of like the point of this channel, like something that I talked about when I first started it, was that I didn't want the same stresses that we put on ourselves that first time around.
That I had so much stress, and then looking at it, and then looking at all this other stuff, I was swamping myself.
Well, not just that, like, we all, like, I mean, you and I both swamped ourselves in different ways, and, like, the focus on certain things and, like, trying to keep, like, such a weird structure to it, I feel like hindered a lot of the quality at times, and
Well, yeah,
our
we kind
enjoyment.
of we kind of had a weird like. We're always like, oh, we don't have to have everybody there, but we always wanted everybody there to do anything, and it's kind of like, well, you don't need it.
No, and I feel like it's like what's also made this channel so much fun is like, because Chris and I have our own 100% separate thing we've been doing, you know, where we have
Yeah.
sat there, we will just sit there and read comments.
And
like,
I'm about to start up my 100% separate thing from you guys.
which I'm 100% for. I don't mind. Like, we will find a way to separate it and do whatever with it. Like, it may, like they said, obviously, like, the thing that's going to get the most detail at the end of the day is going to be the things that I'm, like, the most passionate about. I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like, I probably won't add as much detail into editing your stuff as much as like
Well,
throwing
my
on a
stuff-
title card and outro, right?
My stuff is I don't care. I like most of the content on my stuff is just I'm playing this game because I want to.
Yeah.
You guys can go along for the ride.
Just like Dan Slott and his Spider Boy.
Like, cause like when it came to like,
Is it Spider Kid? I might have been saying that wrong this
it's
entire
not
time.
Spider Kid or Spider Boy. I don't remember.
It's Spider Toddler.
It's Spider.
Like the one
Spider
that I was
Goblin.
like even this
Spider
like
baby.
editing through Spider-Man, I've realized that like I'm editing it, but I'm not putting as much time and effort into it as I do, say, the in reviews. And the in reviews are a little more complicated because each image is taken and grabbed for everything because we only record audio for those. And so it's like a lot more work. Obviously, I think I timed myself one day and it was like either 10 or 12 hours for one of the episodes.
Don't
I just
fucking
have-
grab me. Don't grab me, Prowler, please. Don't do it, you son of a... I died.
You're forced to.
I want to point out that, like,
You were almost there.
I hit the circle button.
But like, it's like obviously a lot of more effort goes into those, and like just the funny bits are going to be there quite a bit more because it's like something I'm accentuating at times, especially like the whole fuck yeah, the Gordons.
Fuck yeah, the Gordons.
Like it's just it's a super bit. But, like overall, like in this would go completely unnoticed, right? But on there, like I accentuate it so much more because it's like
It's not supposed to happen. This is casual, fun conversation of what we're supposed to be talking about. That is like a little more formal, but still focusing on the enjoyment and why we enjoy things and just being happy about it.
So I mean, I think this is more your guys' thing, from what I understand, is a lot more structured than this, because this is kind of we set a game down
yeah, we just talk.
and we just
Like at the end of the day, I don't give a shit what we talk about. I mean, we sat there, we did the Would You Rather's for almost the entire series at one point.
Like,
But luckily enough, those episodes died, so we ran out of Would You Rather. So here we are, just talking, and having a good time.
oh, talking is weird.
It is. It's
Who
fucking
wants
weird.
to talk to these nerds?
Exactly.
The last couple episodes didn't happen where I said that I'm proud to have these guys.
And we didn't talk about suicide at all.
That's normal.
I would say like I would have fun doing just like a shitty podcast. Like that's why like
oh my god,
if we
yeah.
did do the like I said the Gotham Knights and just wanted to just play through it and have fun
Oh, you
and not
son of
really
a sandwich.
worry about
You son
like
of a
trying to
sandwich.
record our
our gameplay as much. You know, like
Yes,
doing two different separate screens at one time.
or like normal gameplay people who do playthrough stuff like where like actually commentating about the game and like
I'm not gonna do
overreacting to
that.
the game. I'm not necessarily.
I
down
might
for
do
that.
that if so. I kind of do that when I'm by myself doing content like that, and especially when I'm playing the game for the first time and reacting to everything.
Oh wait, he has two phases. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
this
I
guy is a lot
I
easier
was
than-
gonna do Final Fantasy 16, but then I was like, oh, there's a lot of nudity
I
and
didn't know
sexual.
Final Fantasy had nudity at all.
16 has sex.
Interesting.
In fact,
I'm
the
gonna
main,
have to buy that game. I'm kidding.
the main
Why do you think I
character
played Baldur's Gate
has
3?
Oh, thank you.
Carlac.
I should go buy that right now.
Where are my Carlac fans at?
uh,
Joke's on you, I'm actually a Shadowheart fan.
is she the evil lady, evil paladin lady?
No.
Who's the evil paladin?
The evil paladin.
She's
Is she a tiefling?
you murder like a camp of.
You murder evil paladins, yes. She's not evil. Oh,
She wants to murder this other camp or
yes,
something.
because they tried to throw her back into hell.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember much. I remember the vampire guy at the towards the start where you find him and he's like, "Hey there." He's trying to charm you, and then
I've been hanging out with my friends a little too much. I almost said not nice words.
and then and then he tries to suck your blood and turn you into a vampire at the very beginning of the game.
Doesn't try to turn you into a vampire, but he does suck you off.
So like I don't know, like so once we kind of get there, we'll kind of figure out how we want to do Gotham Knights, stuff like that. Cause I've thought about like, what if we just put gameplay in the backwards of like our interviews and stuff like that, you know, just like play through Gotham Knights and just have it in the background or whatever, you know. But like I don't know, I can't find like a good enough reason to do that. So the point of the interview is to just talk about that comic and really delve into it in detail, you know. And that's why I don't think I will end up doing that.
That kind of
but
sounds like something that was the original plan for Ride to Fantasy.
I just want to point out that I think I did pretty freaking sweet with that fight. I would not let that man go. Each time he'd appear, he would get slapped.
Yeah.
I know I messed up.
It's like, I don't know. Like, I mean, it'll be a lot of figuring out. Like I said, I feel like a podcast would also kind of just be fun because, like, I've talked about a podcast with you before, and I had a really fun name with it. I might end up stealing it for a segment name instead.
Being family isn't
Alright.
enough anymore.
I don't know yet. I have not decided. Because it also be fun for that to be its own podcast, you know?
Just do both.
Yeah, we could do both.
See which one works.
Like,
Get rid
I
of
don't
them.
know. Like, it is fun to talk. Like, one of the things that's been fun about the series is we have not given a shit about what we've talked about. Because we could be commenting about the game at any point in time. But we have not. We have refused to.
I can't turn my back when people need
We
me.
talked about it the first couple episodes because we're like, oh yeah, this is about the game. We should talk about the game.
Yeah.
And then we're like, would you rather? Would
It's
you
like,
rather
I-
spend the night with Lana Rhodes or marry Billie Eilish?
Who's Lana Rose?
Damn.
He's a good man. That's the
I don't know
problem.
if he's necessarily a good man. I feel like he just might watch type too much, if you get what I mean.
I don't. What is that a?
It's a porn thing, Daniel.
Okay.
She's like one of the like #1 porn.
No,
people.
that's Angela White right now, right?
She is right now, yeah. But Lana Rose was for a long time there.
Okay, I am so behind on that then, because I don't even remember.
Like Ava Elfie was there for a bit.
I don't know who that is.
Things gotta be inside.
Blonde, huge. I'm not finishing that sentence.
Vast tracts of land.
Yes.
There was a video. I mean, there was a actor that I really much enjoyed in their amazing movies.
Sorry.
Like I said, our focus is 100% on the game and only discussing the game.
Yes.
It's been man. I haven't kept up on that stuff in quite a long time, so
Oh, come back here. You die. No, no, no! I hate water. This is why I hate this area so much, is because I can't just let loose because there's water everywhere.
Yeah, it is kind of hard. I don't disagree.
I'm just kind of throwing it around.
But at the end of the day, that's one of the fun things about this channel. Is I was suddenly trying to like nurture the most. Is like I didn't want it to be contained to one thing. Like Chris and I have like ideas for skits and stuff like that we really want to get into. I would like to delve into like short films at some point.
I still have some skits that we never got to do that I want to do.
There is a bit that I would still really love to take from that from a while ago, and it deals with Cooking Mama.
Oh,
Just because that was such a stupid idea.
that was such a stupid.
But
I kind of like the
I hate
Dragon Ball
everything.
one where we just have the person screaming and we do a weird time lapse of like a month or something in
Yeah. Because that's how it works in Dragon Ball. He just screams until he like, powers up.
and then
I've been shot in the back.
then the hair is longer because you didn't go to the barber.
Yeah.
And then we dye it blonde for the.
Exactly. I thought that's always like kind of like a stupid funny part.
Oh no.
And then he's like, I'm in my. This isn't my final form, and he just like kicks him in the nuts or something.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
Like, it's a whole bunch of like really stupid funny things. Like
Goodbye.
I said, the
Oh,
Cookie
he's
Mama
already dead.
one is just so dumb. Like I'll kind of talk about it here because I don't know if anybody's still watching this point. But like the Cookie Mama one is pretty much Cookie Mama on the Wii was peak games at the time, right?
Yeah.
And I want to play Cookie Mama,
Not
Back.
that one.
and
Not
then
that one.
I needed you.
we will play it in an apron, a chef's hat, and our underwear.
And then we cook the meal.
And then we proceed to cook the meal using only the knowledge we gain from
I
cooking.
don't cook. I don't clean.
Do you come?
What the?
The 3 C's.
It's the song. It's the famous song.
Need a bucket and a mop for these waffles and pancakes, bro. What are you talking about?
I don't know that song.
Waffles and pancakes, bro?
No, I don't. Do you know how much of the internet I just ignore?
I think you can just take the line from that one to the other one.
Oh yeah, I see. I hate this part with every
Yeah,
part of my
it is a
game.
puzzle to an extent.
It's not a good puzzle.
But like, so there's that idea. I just think it's so dumb and kind of funny. Like, I'm not saying like I'm a handsome man by any means, and that it'd be like funny to like
I
watch
am.
me in my
You guys
underwear.
are very handsome mofos.
I
Would I
just think
date you
it'd be
guys if I was a
funny
girl?
concept.
No, not at all. But like,
Yeah,
yeah,
understandable. I mean,
And
have
so-
you seen me?
I
Like,
mean, I
there's
wasn't gonna
there's that
say it,
idea. Like there's a couple skits that I've talked
but you're not
about
above
Chris that I
3
want to
foot,
do.
bro.
I am above 3 foot.
No.
Not by much.
Fuck off.
2.5 feet don't count. At least I kind of remember how to do this puzzle, so a little bit quicker.
This is a lot quicker than
That is
last time.
yeah, you weren't wrong, Dan. So, I do want to do some short films, some serious stuff. Like, so one of the things I always want to do is actually like make movies and stuff like that. It's like I don't know, like maybe that'll be something kind of delve into more and more over time. But for now, genuinely, I'm just trying to have fun and do stuff that I enjoy
I
right
just
now.
barely missed. I'm so sad. I'm down to try whatever.
Yeah, man. I probably act better than this Yahoo over here, but
Really? You think so?
I mean,
there's one thing I know about this man's, and this man's had not necessarily semi-short-lived goal. He did attempt to audition, but I interrupted his audition, so...
You interrupted the audition of my life, and that's why I'm here now, because my life peaked at that exact moment, and you ruined it. And it was the audition on casting call for Roblox Flash Thompson. don't spit out your drink. I was trying to record something, and then I got interrupted like 3 times, and the last one was Anthony. I'm like, Anthony, you're literally ruining my dreams right now. I could be Roblox Flash Thompson. But anyways, I remembered the story now.
Oh, he remembered finally?
No, I forgot that I told you guys I'd tell you the rest,
Okay.
and I was about to say one specific thing out of it.
So is it time? Can we deal with that now, or are we gonna wait?
I mean, yeah, we have this boring ass situation that I gotta do, so like, might as
Alright,
well.
let's go for it.
Oh my god, time out, we pointed it out last time. Look at how he runs. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
he looks like such a nerd.
That's not even the fact that he's a nerd, just who runs like
weird,
this?
it's the weird angle of his arms while he's running.
We know somebody who ran like that,
POV
and
when
then they switched to the Naruto run.
POV when mom says to come downstairs to eat.
No, the only thing I can always remember is the one person who was like drug their feet while they were running.
Yes, I remember that person.
Do-
I remember always being upset when we had to run a lot because my appendix would hurt.
I don't feel like that's normal.
I don't
probably
think
not.
I don't think anything about Daniel is normal. I'm gonna be
You're
honest.
not wrong, but
Do you know, sometimes I wonder how my body's still put together.
honestly, I'm just gonna continue saying this is honestly really comfortable.
I should have done that. My
Damn, that's such a good idea.
my hip is bad.
I am sitting-
I can take the
so-
controller from you for a minute so you can stand up.
No,
I have
I'm gonna
bad
speedrun
knees,
this.
right? But I sit crisscross applesauce all the damn time.
So do I, and I have a bum knee, so.
You guys should work on making your knees stronger. By the way, my knee started clicking again. so
Alright.
so I have no right to like say that.
Chris, welcome to the club. Mine's been
No, I
doing-
left the club and now I'm back.
My knee's been doing that since I was like 15.
Alright, Chris, let's do this, buddy.
Whoa.
Continue.
Give me the tool. Give me the tool. Okay, now I can continue those. Okay, but anyways, where was I? What do you remember last?
You were talking about how you went to the store, you were gonna go to the mall,
So we went to the mall.
which then you found, again, the same place you were trying to go to originally.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's where it ended.
Yes. So we went to the mall. We had a good time. It was great. And then we started making our way back home. And while making our way back home, we made a joke about an adult store. That my ongoing gag with my parents is that it's an adult store. So like a lot of explicit things.
Mm-hmm.
And my ongoing gag is like, ooh, my favorite store.
Tell me when the sticker's pointed at the sensor.
Whatever. That's how my family jokes like that. And so I started talking to them about that, and then one of us was like, "All right, bet, go. We gotta go to that store."
Yeah, and you have to buy one thing. Each had to buy one thing, right? That's what you said.
What?
I think you said each of you had to buy one thing.
Yes, each of us had to buy one thing, The guy that offered that chickened out right at the last second. Meanwhile, the other three of us went in. Like, we walk in, and they ID us immediately because it's an adult store. You have to be like 17 or older. So I'm going in here. Yeah, it's 17.
Interesting. I thought it would have been 18.
Yeah.
It said 17 on the door, if I remember correctly. All I know is that I'm older than that, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Because I'm an adult. I'm a legal functioning adult.
Yeah,
in
all
this
of you
situation.
were illegal adults at the time.
Illegal adults is what I heard.
All three of you that went in the store.
You're speaking like at the time, like all of a sudden
No,
I was in, like
no.
I'm like in a court case. I'm like, what?
no, sorry.
Am I being like?
I meant all of you that went to the store at the time were of legal
cross-
age.
Yeah. So we go in there and like, none of us have ever been in any store like that before.
Yeah.
So like, they're all laughing and giggling.
I've been in that with my parents. That was weird.
Nah, so
I'm going to edit that out for your sake.
I found one of the zippy faces.
Okay.
I think that's the exact terminology. What I was going to do, I kid you not, was I was going to buy that. I was going to come home, take off my shirt, and tie it around my hands, put the zippy face on, ring your doorbell, and be like, hey, I need some help.
I don't know how I would have reacted, honestly.
I was going to do it. The only problem was I got scammed $42. I opened up the box and it wasn't in there. And there's a no refund, no return policy. So it doesn't matter. So I just got scammed $42.
Damn.
So, and then on the way home, one of us bought what he thought was DVDs. Turns out he bought stories, not light novels. So the entire ride home, I was reading them out loud. And like, the whole time I was reading... And let me just say, when I read things, I do a very good job at reading, enunciating. I put myself in the character's positions. Doesn't matter if it's doggy style or missionary, any position, I'm there.
Alright.
And then there was one more thing. The one little bow to wrap it all up. I was like, well, this still ain't as bad as Dipper Goes to Taco Bell. And everyone goes, what's Dipper Goes to Taco Bell? So I got to explain that to them again. But, even better, I found the original manuscript. Reddit is a dangerous place. I didn't get to fully read it, but we got to the point where he was, he had the realization of something groundbreaking. You remember that part.
I not only had to listen to you tell me in person, I had to listen to it again.
What? Did
He
you read it?
edited the videos.
Oh, yeah.
So trust me, I know that story too well.
Oh. There's so much I left out.
Oh no!
And I'm gonna leave it that way.
But look, I made you some content. So, now that we're starting to wrap up all the bows, we're starting to get near the end of the game. Yo, don't shoot at me, bro.
Did we ever do a video of like, hey guys, we finished?
Yes, we did.
We did, for the second time?
Yes. Oh, wait, not for the second time.
We didn't do one for the second
We
time.
only did it for the first one, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Well, actually, do we want to talk about the comment section of that or no?
Did somebody be like, why is 7 out of 10?
So
No.
okay, so when we're trying to do the TikToks too, obviously while we do this stuff, because like trying to promote our stuff in a way to an extent, you know. And so we did TikTok when we finished the first Spider-Man, and we all gave our honest reviews of it. Chris and I both gave it a 10 out of 10. Daniel, on the other hand, gave it a 7 out of 10.
Which was
And
fine.
the comments were slightly agitated. He gave it a 7. But that was fine. And then we give our review of Miles Morales.
The sky just changed colors.
I give it, I think, a 9 out of 10.
I give it an 8.
Give it an 8.
Which is one higher than the regular game. But
And can I explain mine real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I rated it a 5 out of 10. Because when I first played this game, the overall plot I was able to predict very easily. Getting Finn the Tinkerer, and then the Prowler being Uncle Aaron. That I didn't even watch Spider-Verse at that point, by the way. I want to point that out.
I knew that because of the comics.
I didn't know it. I guessed it. I was entirely right on the money. The game was really predictable. Also, I've said it once, and I'm going to keep saying it. This game doesn't work for me. Whenever I play this game, aside from this playthrough, I don't think that we've had any... Well, all the videos that had the problems got corrupted, of course. Now
They're not corrupted. They just never got the audio tracks.
Well, basically, we can, so technically, we could pull out the frame skips too. Wait, am I going the wrong way?
Yes.
Can I break this?
No.
But, the game didn't work when I first played it, and I lost the entire ending cutscene. I didn't get to watch it. Can you do that? Yeah, there we go. I didn't get to watch it because it turned into a slideshow showing frame by frame. So, you know that whole scene where he flies up in the sky with her and stuff? I missed all that. I had to watch that on YouTube. So, with that, and the fact that I don't like the achievements in this game, because I 100% of this on my account, I rated this game a 5 out of 10. And,
The comments weren't happy. I think there's exactly 2 comments on the video. One of them is, this is racist for show or something like that.
And the other person was Lel.
Was Lel, L-E-L.
so, I'm being accused of being racist because the game doesn't work for me. And overall,
like,
the story is pretty mid.
I understand where you're coming from. Like, yeah,
We got our
like,
first hate comment, guys.
and so like our feelings are a little hurt. Like that wasn't our intention.
No,
by
my
any means.
feelings aren't hurt.
I think that's hilarious.
I think, I'm just like, wow, we just started this, and we're already getting hate. I love it. This is like arguably one of the better scenes in this game.
But you said that last time too, actually.
I know, because it deserves recognition. Don't get me wrong. I don't really care for the game because it kind of doesn't work that well. But I will give credit where credit is due.
This is some of the best scenes in the game. I agree. Just the aesthetic, along with the kind of just feeling of the fact
There was
that
a little bit of a chug there.
There was a lot of stuff happening at once.
Yeah, but you know this is the PS5 and it's still chugging a little bit. That's a little bit.
What can I say? I'm just too good.
Or
too
that-
many animations are still gonna do that, you know.
Well-
Games only optimize so much.
It depends on how you
that man's
optimize
dead.
them. I would know because I've actually. I hate to say this, but I made a game.
You hate to say it?
I was not very happy with the end result.
Well, then just go back and fix it.
No, I'm not dealing with that shit.
Valid.
It was for a school project, and we worked with an art team who had a year and a half to write out the story, then flesh it out, and you know, a bunch of other stuff. They didn't even start the story writing until after the school year started, and we had a year to make this entire thing. They didn't do any of, basically anything. Us.
There was a lot of issues.
Yeah.
The communication wasn't there between the 2 teams on
Were
what
you on
you
the art
guys
team,
wanted
Anthony?
versus what they wanted. What?
No,
Oh.
no. Anthony knows because I ranted to him.
Yeah, no.
I'm pretty sure you ranted about this before. Not that I'm complaining.
I don't.
It doesn't exist on this channel.
It doesn't exist on this channel.
Oh, not anymore?
It never existed on this channel.
This channel.
I thought we ranted about it last time we played. Spider-Man.
No,
No.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I haven't talked about it.
This is the first time he's actually bringing up his game.
And there was a lot of problems. And we, as the, the
the
dev
people.
team, ended up doing a ton of modeling.
I remember you telling me that, and then like the art team wasn't wanting to meet the middle ground on anything, and just there's a lot of issues there. And then I think I remember.
Yo, I'm about to hit a 100
you
combo.
were like sitting there, like it was weeks before the project was due. And you're like, they still haven't finished
Give me more
everything
enemies,
they needed,
please.
and you were angry for so long.
No!
What?
That is truly the saddest moment of this game. I hit a 98 combo and the enemy wouldn't get here fast enough, so I lost
Okay.
it. Oh,
Yeah.
come on, I almost
But
had
yeah,
that.
no, there was, even up until the day that we had to turn it in, there was still a lot of stuff that they hadn't done that we as the dev team had been struggling to like try and finish up.
Mm-hmm.
And then every time that they would do their thing, they would break like 90% of it. So we had to go in and redo what they just did, but do it correctly. And we weren't supposed to be meeting outside of a set time, or working out a set time. But we had to because
It would have never gotten done otherwise.
yeah.
So, did you grade?
The grade was not reflected by the end product. It was how well we followed the correct process, basically.
I mean,
And as long as we showed progress on the project itself, it that decided how well we were.
But
gonna
one
get
of
our
the
grade.
things about college
get over here.
is that it's not just about the grades, right?
Yeah.
The thing is that game was meant to be shown to other people. to
As
help
a
get
like,
your work
hey,
out
this
there.
is stuff I can do.
Yes,
Yeah,
like
but
a
it
portfolio
was
piece.
super shitty.
Which, like, I will say, as someone who was going to go to school for an art degree, that is the one reason to go to college for an art degree, is connections. To form
Like
those
one of the
deals with
people on the team, like one of the people, they did all the texture mapping,
Mhm.
which is
Ooh.
like all they did.
I hit him so hard the fire stopped. I'm sorry.
That like all they did the entire time was the texture mapping, and they did a pretty good job of that. Like man, they did a pretty good job. And then they picked up the slack for a bunch of other people.
Listen, hey, we need to get out of here.
So
Carry some of you.
yeah,
But yeah, like, with
but
college,
they
like,
got an actual full-time job.
yeah,
right out.
that was the moral of what I was trying to get to. It's like, that's kind of what you're hoping for. So when you do stuff like that, you're trying to get a job or get your work shown to people who can get you jobs.
Yeah.
And like the one downside, like for the art degree thing, is like it's a lot of you have to go head to head against people for those things, and that wasn't something I necessarily wanted to do. I didn't necessarily want to do like the dog eat dog thing. I wanted to still do my own thing, and not have to, hurt people or step on people to get there.
Yeah.
Okay, Miles from Across the Spider-Verse. You're gonna do it
Oh.
your own way.
I did not get that at first. That flew right over my head.
Because you're doing it your own way, and you're gonna save everyone and do it how you want to do it.
And
Well,
it's like, that was only
yeah.
part of it. Was I just didn't like the idea of that. I've never been a competitive person, and to be that competitive is always like.
Luckily, I was in software engineering, and it's not nearly as bad.
He tried to do the Martin Lee pose.
You don't know what you're doing.
They deserve what's coming to them.
So that was like one of the things for me at least, like why I didn't go to school. There was other reasons, a lot of reasons. I didn't go to school. I'm a college dropout.
Gonna let you lie to me again.
I never went to college. I would love to say that I'm double majoring in psychology and creative writing, but I'm just some guy that lives in a basement apartment that makes YouTube videos.
You said that last time actually.
I said that on stream, on recording.
On recording last session,
Yeah.
not tonight, but like last session.
The ones
On
that
one
got
of the
corrupted?
one of the videos I edited. You said that recently.
Yeah.
Oh. I think it's one of my new favorite sayings. I'm gonna put that on my. I almost said Tinder profile, but I don't think I need that.
If you have a Tinder profile, I'm
Some days I forget that I'm not Signal. No! Don't look at me like that.
Okay.
No.
Okay. You
No, I'm in
clarified,
a very
Cleared it? You
happy
cleared it?
relationship. We actually just hit a couple months. That's great. I want to point out is that Anthony edited it out.
Why do you keep putting yourself in this position?
When you're inevitably listening to this, if this part so happens to gloss over your head, that's great. If not, you know that I'm just kind of
I think the part where you'll Anthony edit it out might help hone it in.
No, I'm talking to someone else right about
I
now.
know. I know. That's my point. I'm saying the part where you yell Anthony edit this out might be a clear indicator for them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep punching until you get hit. Get over here. Get over here. Get over here. Get over here.
I
a
wonder
barrel.
if this is not what you're supposed to be doing.
How do you still see me, woman? You can't.
So I mean, we talked a lot about this and about that.
Hot
So
dog!
I'm gonna once again kind of sidetrack a completely different area. What is one of your favorite tropes? Like I know you've talked about Chris about like isekai and stuff like that. Like what I mean by like tropes is like
Oh,
time loop.
did you guys see that turn from invisible? Sorry, but
There's like time loop. There's romance comedy, like stuff like that. Not
You ever
necessarily
watched
genre,
Tenet?
but like
you ever watched Tenet?
yes, I have watched it.
Okay.
Have you?
Yes.
No.
What's that face?
I just feel like we would have spoken about it sooner. Or, I don't know. I was like kind of surprised that we haven't talked about it already.
Tenet's the movie where like they have to go back in time and stuff, and they watch all the soldiers. Like you can see all the other soldiers like go through stuff, right?
Is it like where they like do backwards stuff specifically?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, we're talking about the same movie.
Yeah, and then there's a different movie where it's super weird, but like it's two guys that develop a time machine, and then you have to figure out which two people you're following, because when you start moving in the time machine, you see yourself in the like you don't see yourself, but you can see yourself. If that makes sense.
I'm trying to remember that off the top of my head, but it's not ringing a bell. I
It's
think
an older
there's-
movie.
There's Looper, which is another good one, which is pretty much a space assassin, not space, a time assassin. Has to hunt down someone, and
You
turns
mean
out to be
Deathloop?
his older self or whatever. And
Um,
then it turns out his older self is after his younger self.
you know, I like the Disney's Buzz Lightyear as well. Have you not watched that movie?
No.
You love that movie. I'm sorry to spoil it for you, man.
Interesting.
Do you want me to explain it or no?
No, I mean, I'm good. I haven't gotten around to watching it.
Dude, the Disney's Buzz Lightyear movie is actually ridiculously good. Like, I am glad I watched it. It was...
Like, I mean, I've always enjoyed Looper. Like, so the whole thing with him being himself and weird is interesting, you know. One of my favorite like timely movies is like Groundhog's Day. I love that movie. It is the idea of being stuck in a day for I think it was like 10 years. He was
Oh
stuck
my
in
God.
one day.
I forgot how to fight
What?
this
How
one.
did he get
Yeah.
out?
I mean, you haven't seen the movie. Like it's. I mean, I love this, and I'll watch it again. It is one of my favorite movies. It's such. It goes through what I think is some of the worst aspects of a time loop, where he gets severely depressed and tries to kill himself every way imaginable.
But he wakes up.
But he keeps waking up same day. So live, die, repeat, more or less. And like,
I think I have like one more area where I'm supposed to fight her again.
and so there's so much to that. And like, he ends up learning like piano, like completely in its entirety. He can play like full classical piano, you know, perfectly. Just a lot of those like niche things where it's like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, time loop, we gotta get out fast or whatever. Like he's stuck in it for 10 years, and it's a romance movie to an extent where he's trying to get the girl or whatever. So it's like whatever, but yeah, I love the concept, and like the fact that they kind of hint more into the like sad part of being stuck in a time loop, because at some point, yeah, you're gonna get fucking depressed, in my opinion. There's nothing you can
10
do.
years?
Oh, exactly.
I didn't really pay attention to the line that he just said, because I'm Spider-Man. I didn't really think of the impact of it because of the way it's executed. In my opinion, that line sounds kind of weird when he says it. But now, after hearing it like I did just now, and really just trying to understand like where he's coming from with it, I love that line. It now resonated with me. Fuck you.
Another time loop movie that's not necessarily my favorite, but wasn't bad. Edge of Tomorrow, I think is what it's called. Its tagline was "Live, Die, Repeat." I thought that was his name forever. Like Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt. Wasn't bad, not my favorite. I think I preferred Oblivion, which I guess is like one of like a
What the
hated movie by a lot of people. Probably not ringing any bells to either of you. I know you guys are super
Oblivion?
big movie buffs. Yeah.
I heard of it. Maybe I haven't watched it. I don't think so.
I like Land Before Time.
Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, what's your kind of favorite tropes in movies, or not just movies? So we can go books, we can go TV.
I think in like books and stuff, it's isekai.
Isekai's great. Love Isekai.
Well, and there's isekai is so broad,
Mm-hmm.
so
I mean, if you want to get like a little more specific, you can. Like, I don't mind. Like, we're still here for a few minutes. I am down to listen.
well, I'm about to take control.
Yo, Daniel's time to shine is so close.
Yep.
This is Daniel actually playing right now.
Yeah, it is. Of course.
No one else has played this game. It's only been Daniel's entire.
No, don't lie to them. Daniel is currently playing right now.
I am.
He has the controller in his hand and everything.
I wasn't lying. I said Daniel's played the entire time.
Well, the entire time I said so.
Anyways, this but like right now, I've been reading a lot of novels where
Vending machine.
that one is a weird ass.
I remember I watched it yet. There's a.
Oh,
okay.
I haven't
You
watched
look
it. I
a little
read
confused.
I
You
read
one?
the light novel.
Okay. It's called That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Vending Machine in Another World.
I actually heard this one recently.
He's a literal fucking
Yeah.
vending machine. And these
Hey Andrew, why didn't you do that?
Oh, he still
The-
didn't catch her, so.
yeah.
What was the point of taking off your mask to get more
Because he
momentum?
was the screen
The
was
syntax
bunch of
error.
arrows. Yeah. So he was getting distracted.
He just crushes himself.
He just prays that hits something. Imagine if he pulled rubble onto them and they both just died. Well,
yeah. But that one is fucking crazy, man.
Alright, this is the hardest part of the game.
So, I've been trying to decide whether or not I want to watch the live action One Piece.
Actually, I've heard.
I have heard great things.
Yeah.
Everyone's loving it. They love how it just feels like an anime, but with live action.
Why would you watch One Piece though?
And that's the thing. I've never cared for One Piece, but Netflix's trailer made it almost seem interesting.
Oh, that kind of hits me because I like One Piece, except every time I get to caught up, I get burned out.
And that is what I've been afraid of this entire time, because like One Piece is such a. Oh, how many episodes are there? There's like almost like 1,200 episodes.
Still not as much as Naruto and Shippuden, but like everyone.
It's been going longer though, I think.
One Piece.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not gonna look it up because I'm not gonna fight that argument. Like, all I know is that One Piece is super long and has been honestly very convoluted, according to a lot of people. A lot
It's
of
not
arcs aren't important by any means.
It's not that it's convoluted. It's just the world is fucking bonkers in general. Like the creator was like, "Ah, yes, I made this cool power. Oh wait, it is way too strong. Now I made this other power, which is
Somehow more strong.
it's even more
Hold
strong."
the button.
So
I was
the
pressing the wrong
only thing I would say on the reason why everyone says that One Piece is such a bigger thing is because Naruto has had separate shows to get to that number.
Yeah, One
Well,
Piece is
One Piece is just one show.
One Piece is One Piece.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wish they confirmed that One Piece was the friendship they made along the way.
It's kind of. Is it supposed to be this choppy there?
I don't think so. Maybe I'm just
Daniel
wrong.
broke it this time. It wasn't me.
I wasn't listening, so I couldn't tell if it was also the dialogue doing that. 'Cause if the dialogue doing that as well, it's not. It
doesn't.
is what I meant. Sorry.
It doesn't do the dialogue though.
Like, if the dialogue is at normal speed, because I know like they're doing like the slow motion thing here, and he does the weird like shifty thing here in a minute when he's walking around. So like I didn't know if that was part of it. I don't like I wasn't listening to any of the dialogue though. So
Man, this is hard.
and that's I don't know. I said the Netflix trailer made it look really interesting. I'm like, maybe. But at the same time, like I don't think Netflix would ever try and take on the same thing, and I feel like they're gonna rush it so much more in comparison.
So here's the thing. The original writer is in charge.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not up to standard, it's not being released.
Mm-hmm. Which is like also was the goal with Avatar, but the original writers left that.
Why doesn't
so.
she just throw him?
Who knows? But
Or drop him. I mean, to be fair,
Uh,
you'd probably still get hit by the explosion if you do that.
part of it's momentum. Probably can't because she took off the stuff on her arm to put on her boots,
Yeah.
so she can't throw them while being up that high. You know,
Well, she can't.
could have tried to throw them while
I
she
always
was
get
down.
upset when this cutscene works for everyone else. That's a load of hippy dippy baloney. That it works.
I'm curious. Like I said, I don't see Netflix trying to recreate more or less.
I don't think they're gonna go the entire series.
No, I
And
think
if
they're gonna
they
cut
do-
out a lot.
Well, there's a lot you can cut out in One Piece. There's a lot. There's whole arcs that are just fluff.
Hmm. Now, the interesting thing that I'm curious about more is, will the show wrap up first? Because same thing happened with Game of Thrones, right? Where they had a lot of stuff going in, but they caught up to it so fast
So
because they cut out so much.
The show is slowing down as well as the manga. They're all slowing down.
Hmm.
Best deaf waifu.
So that's why I asked the question, right? Because if Netflix keeps going, they're going to keep going at whatever rate they want. They're not going to really want to slow down.
Netflix, I don't think will be able to catch up.
Not anytime soon, dependent really. Because I mean, the One Piece has a lot of ground to cover yet, right?
Yeah, you have.
But that's the interesting part. Is like, how much of it are they going to stay true to? How much are they going to keep in? How much
They're
take out?
probably gonna keep most of it.
It's
Like most of
interesting.
the main story beats at least.
Get out of here, kid.
So there's no real way of knowing right now.
Yeah.
But I know that's obviously a huge issue with Game of Thrones because the ending is not what anyone wanted, not what anyone would have expected because they ran out of source material.
Yeah.
And part of that was just, I mean, nothing against George R. R. Martin. I feel like I'm probably a solid writer or whatever, but I know he still has not released the next book.
Well, yeah, he's a freaking writer. It doesn't just on.
My only issue with that is if motherfucking Stephen King can release 2 books a year.
Here's the thing, not every writer.
Author, and I agree with that. And even Stephen King
All
says
right.
that, you know.
Alexander Hamilton.
Yes.
Federalist Papers.
Yes.
As like someone got like the 3 people that wrote the Federalist Papers. There's one of them that got sick after writing 5. One of them wrote 29. Hamilton wrote 51. Each person has their own limitations and strengths.
I don't disagree. Like I said, my biggest, like I said, the only reason I'm even like giving George R. R. Martin crap is because the time between some of them versus the last one and this one is a very large difference, right? And the only thing I can kind of hopefully chop that up to is the fact that maybe he had a lot of those manuscripts done prior to getting signed on and just releasing them, so it's just a less window of finalization, you know?
Well, from what
Each
I
time I look at this, I just remind me of myself, and it makes me sad. And then I still do it in public anyway. The only problem is I'm not Spider-Man. They're not listening to music, those guys.
No.
How'd they know how to do the dance?
because the Tims, man.
I hate that we skipped one of my favorite side quests in this game. Being that of the feast thing. Just helping out the feast center. Because everything like freezes up at the feast and you have to go help and all that. Or also that strip of businesses. That was a good one too.
The what businesses?
Like the business strip where all their businesses were getting shut down.
Okay.
Because someone was stealing their goods.
Man, I still can't get over that suit. So cool.
Gotta be me.
Yeah, you do.
That's such a good suit. Especially with the hood down, it's even better.
Does this job ever get easier?
No.
Some of it, yeah. Some things never get easier, though.
The war never changes.
So Chris, you haven't answered the question. I asked the question forever ago. Daniel and I both thought about it quite an extent here.
Of course, multiverse is like the easiest thing. I'm a sucker for the multiverse. Also, I'm a sucker for like, don't word it like that. Good versus bad. Like
Okay.
you can tell this guy's good, you can tell this guy's you can tell this guy's bad, and like those tropes where it's like they clash head to head.
So they become lovers?
Go time.
Doesn't necessarily have to be lovers. I mean, if they want to, I guess. If it makes sense.
Lovers
it's
separated
a whole
from
thing.
one
It's like-
another.
Book Talk has like really expedited a lot of like people's like interest in books and like got new terms of things. So it's like enemies to lovers is like a big one right now, and that people search for is like always popping up as like enemies to lovers.
I hold a very high standard to enemies to lovers. Are we watching the credits?
No.
Okay. Well, I hold a very high
I
standard
guess
too.
so.
I hold a very
Do
high.
you want me to skip it?
Yeah.
How do I?
I hold a very high standard to enemies to lovers. I don't like when people just shove down their throat that these two people should be together, even though it's a toxic relationship.
I can agree with that. I mean, there has to be a good groundwork for me to enjoy it. I agree. Like a good stable thing. Like it can't just be, just because they were, this. They're just gonna have passion.
If Black Cat and Spider-Man stayed together, that'd be okay.
Because there's enough groundwork there for
Well,
it to work,
actually,
right?
I don't know if that would be okay. Because, I mean, I'm okay with it kind of like not working out because of the fact that she is stuck her ways, he is stuck his ways. One of them would have to develop a lot in order to change.
Which, in that case, would work in this scenario from enemies to lovers.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess that's true.
But that's the point. Yeah, that's the argument. But it'd be like Doc Ock and Spider-Man all of a sudden, it wouldn't work, right?
Why is Doc Ock cheating on Aunt May?
I'm just giving a random ass example, right?
Why is Doc Ock is anything? He's
sorry.
loyal. He's a loyal man.
Norman.
I think he meant Norman and Gwen Stacy.
Exactly.
God,
How does that
babies.
work?
All right, we did it. We saw Venom that's going to be introduced in the next game. All right. How do you feel beating Miles Morales?
Feel better. I'm gonna rate this game an 8.5 out of 10 now.
Oh, we're doing ratings again? Oh, I guess
No, I just wanted to tie it back to the. Are you gonna rate
I'm
it
gonna give it a
lower?
9 out of 10.
What about you, Chris? Is my experience with the game increasing or decreasing your rating?
Okay. Don't crucify me for this one, guys. Most of the suits were pretty mediocre. Didn't really enjoy all of them. I like sitting down going through some of them for the most part. I like unlocking them. The overall storyline was pretty mediocre. I predicted most of it. Everything kind of happened. There's two iconic scenes that make it really nice. I loved the scene in the snow because you're trying to call people. It's desperate, and you get to see a different side of Miles. I also love the scene that I mentioned earlier that I can't quite remember off the top of my head. The bridge scene. I love being able to see that he can't beat it all, and these people were just like bad guys anyways. You get to see their true colors in that moment, and that was cool. So there's like two really good scenes. The overall mechanics in the game was fun. I enjoyed being able to do the Venom Punch, Venom Dash, moving. The mobility was great. I hated every puzzle in this game. The puzzles were dumb. I don't know why I hate the puzzles so much.
They're not as easy as the ones on Spider-Man, because they try to be more like physical puzzles rather than just the like digital puzzles. That.
But at the end of the day, it's supposed to be different from original Spider-Man. That's the whole thing. It's like Miles is on his own 2 feet. And so, with that, also, I enjoyed the fighting mechanics of them. Some of the enemies I didn't really care for. Like when I saw like the shield dudes, the basic shield dudes, or the dudes with scythes and shields, I just thought, great, now I have to deal with them before I can deal with the other stuff. It felt more of a hindrance. Meanwhile, in the other Spider-Man game, when I played that one, I felt like I could easily overpower anything. And though I don't, sorry, easily is not the right word. Just I feel like I could go through it and be okay without feeling like everything's a big hurdle.
I feel like one of my biggest issues with the enemy types in this one is that they're just the demons, but retextured more or less.
I always hate sword people too. You jump up in a millisecond there, they pick you up for you. And then also, in my personal experience, the game did not work for me, which is already frustrating enough as it is. And then I 99% this game, but I got frustrated because it wasn't working that I stopped playing for like at least a couple months before I went back 100% again. And the achievements on that were mediocre. It's just the do these, do these, do this. Wow. Like, I am a hormonally unbalanced youth. No, okay, but anyways, after everything's said and done, overall, I'm going to stick by my opinion and rate this a 5 out of 10. I have played this game. I've played it twice on my own, twice now here, and after playing it 4 times, still 5 out of 10. I guess I technically didn't beat the final boss, so like.
I feel like part of that is like, don't get me wrong, like you've had so much hardship with it in the past as well. That like maybe to an extent it's clouding your judgment to an extent, but not enough that I feel like it would honestly raise your thing anywhere near a 10. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like you've had a lot of issues. You have a lot of great points. The fact that a lot of it is just tedious in this game compared to the first.
I
where it
also
felt rewarding.
I also want to point out, I didn't talk about the good things in this game. That's true. When I first played through this game, I was fully immersed. Like, I predicted everything that happened, yes. But also, when, like, the big stuff happened, my two favorite scenes, I was entirely all for it. That's one of my favorite things to do is to play music and be able to really.
Because I was looking at my phone.
I like to really immerse myself, play music, have a good time. I put on the 2020 suit, never changed that suit the entire playthrough once I got it, and I just had a good time. I remember fighting the final boss, listening to some amazing music, and it was fun. I enjoyed it, but I think it's just mediocre at best. A very predictable plot line. I mean, they added some mechanics that are good, but the puzzles I feel outweigh most of that. And though the mechanics to help mobility, I don't feel like they really do too much. You use a jump that makes you go up higher. That's great. Why didn't you just swing? Swinging would be faster. You can gain momentum better. And then there's that little dash that you can do. Yeah, you get speed for like another 5 seconds. Unless I'm just not good at swinging.
I don't know. Like, there's things like to this game that are better and worse than the first one. I agree that the physical puzzles are different, and I didn't really have any struggles with them personally, so I didn't really have anything to say bad about them. I feel like even when I played it the first time, I just kind of breezed through it, no problem. And there's nothing really wrong with that. Like, they were definitely different puzzles than the first time around, and just mechanically very different. But
One thing they did do good combat flow. I feel amazing playing this one. That is also another time where I just threw on my tunes and I was excited to whenever I got into a fight. Even if I kind of had the tedious villains where it's like, well, I have to do this specifically in order to get this and this and this, I was still excited to do it because it just felt good. I think, like, Miles' character, you always see him with his headphones, kind of have that music playing. And once you kind of get into that mindset, the game is fun. It's great. Maybe arguably I could maybe raise mine to like a 6, and yeah, like a 6.5 maybe.
like I said, for me, like I said, this game is it's stepped down from the last one, and not in a bad way. Like, there's a lot of new mechanics that are neat and exciting. Like, I agree with you. There's a lot of just tedious stuff to it, especially the achievements. I don't have all of them because they're, in my opinion, tedious.
Do wall takedowns, do ceiling
Yeah,
takedowns.
do all these takedowns, do all X amount of this, X amount. I'm like, yeah, if you played enough, you're gonna get that anyways. Whatever. But to like intentionally be forced to do that, it's not necessarily always even my playthrough, right? I don't always want to do stealth, or sometimes I do want to do stealth, but you have to do like the 100 chain combo, but you're not gonna do that when you do stealth because it's a one hit kill, or whatever. So it's like it's I don't know. Like the achievements are very tedious, especially the one where you have to beat Finn in the science thing, science museum. That one I didn't even know you could even do.
I had the same problem. I beat the game, and this was before replaying missions was unlocked because it was right at the get go. Once you beat the game, this is why one of the reasons why I left it 99%. I didn't want to play through the entire game to get that one achievement again.
No, exactly. It's like I agree that these achievements in this one are, in my opinion, a lot more tedious than the first one. The first one on the PS5 edition, they got a little more tedious because they added in a lot of those other achievements like Miles's. But honestly, most of them were just unlocked anyways because I'd already done it in my saves or whatever. It wasn't like it was anything extra really work to do. But as minus like the environment being like the snowy, I really love the aesthetic in this one. The music is a little more fun in my opinion. Even though the music that's in this game is slightly more fun.
I never listen to a game soundtrack unless I'm absolutely like devoted to the game. Like I listen to Persona soundtrack, and that's if I'm not getting stuck on anything. If a game will turn off its music for me to be able to play my music, that game instantly boosts up. But
I am not one to listen to music while I play games. I listen to the game and I listen to its soundtrack, its natural sounds. That's what. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with you playing your game with music and headphones. Nothing wrong with that. Like I said, for me, it doesn't add anything or take away from the game, in my opinion. Like I said, it's not as good as the first one. But that's just like because mechanically the boss types feel exactly the same as the first one, just retextured, in my opinion. Because you can chalk it up to each demon, right? You got the brutes, you got the shield boys, you got the flying sable people, you've got the whip boys. They're all there, just different now.
Same, but different. but still same.
So like it didn't really feel like there's a lot of variety in that comparison, you know. Like I said, the stories in this one is what for me gives it the 9 out of 10. It's a good continuation of the story that was set in the first one, while giving it longevity to go into the next one. And for that, I feel it's very important why I feel it still stays at a 9. Because that is what it accomplishes, and that's what this sets out to do. Mechanically, they try to do things. One of my favorite things in this game is the seamless transitions. The first one, especially on the PS4, was littered with loading screens. Whenever you left a building, whenever you went into a building. But Miles, on the other hand, was seamless. As soon as you went into the vent, you were there. Obviously, they're not seamless. The reason you're going through the vents is because it's a loading screen. But it doesn't feel that way while you're playing.
It's just like in Mass Effect, like the first game, where you're in an elevator, that's a loading screen.
Those
They-
elevators felt like loading screens.
They are.
I know, but like what he's saying.
Like, at
Was
least
like-
in this one, it feels much more seamless. I do like that. I feel that is another bonus in this game, in my opinion, from the first one.
I played the story. Like when I play a game, I play for the story and I play for the way it looks. To be honest, I know I'm one of those guys.
Mhm.
I do judge books by its cover.
My God, the aesthetics in this one are phenomenal.
It does look pretty, but also when I go for story and looks, if when one of those categories does not live up at all, it's hard for me to give this a good rating. Like Callisto Protocol, like that game was absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning. The story was like horrendous.
I don't even know what the story is still.
Good.
I mean, I haven't completed it, but I still don't.
I guess I do have gameplay on there too, but it's just the game felt more like a chore near the end there because it was dragged out for so long. At least in my opinion, I was like, we didn't have to do all this. And I've never liked the concept of, well, this character feels this way because this one didn't get to explain the things because people jump to conclusions and dumb stuff. I always think that, like, whenever I see that, it always frustrates me because I'm like, sit down and just talk about it.
I can agree with that, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. And, like, I will say, like, one of my biggest gripes in this is that I feel like it almost suffers from the Spider-Man 3 curse, where they're trying to throw a lot in here all at once.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the game would have been just the same if they had saved Prowler for later.
I forgot Prowler was in here after talking about it because I was sitting here thinking, I'm like, he said throw in so much at once. Well, what is all there? Prowler could have been like a DLC.
Or
Or
it could
maybe-
have been for the second game, or whatever, give
Or it
Miles stuff
could-
to do with that one. But I feel like it was not necessary for this one.
Or it could have been like it could have been in this game, but not executed at the same time as everything else.
Well, it could have been in this game, but like
'Cause,
you
yeah,
don't
they're
have
trying
the
to give
boss
them
fight
longevity.
and stuff. You could have just been introducing
I
us
feel
to
like
the
also it would have been a
character.
little more fun for Miles to have to give a reason to the cops why the new form people were bad, Simon Krieger, instead of just having Prowler turn on them.
I talked about it earlier. I would have liked to see Miles fail and been there to help. Because at the beginning, it talks about it, where it's like
I mean,
how he messes
the
up.
bridge scene is such an amazing scene,
It
though,
is.
where he does fail.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Because he's messing up everything there. He's trying to fix it, but he's still messing up. And, like, I mean, the first time I played that scene alone is one of the best scenes in this game.
If you gave me those two scenes and put it in a game, I mean, I'd rate the game pretty freaking good. But like,
I agree. There's a lot of tedious stuff. Like I said, I feel part of it is that you went and intentionally 100% this game. I did not. I played the story and I was done. I still have not come back to 100% this game.
Want to know why this game is so high for me? Because it's shorter than the last one we played. and let me continue. I haven't seen it like 5 times.
That is also a true fact. I feel like the only issue I have with the first Spider-Man is honestly the DLC. Like, I love the DLC, but it also takes away from the game to an extent. The pacing, in my opinion, gets thrown off of the DLC. It feels a lot slower. A lot more drug out.
I agree with it being drug out. But at the end of the day, I mean,
I still love it. Like, it's still, like, I'd still give it 10 out of 10. Like, that is my one gripe.
after having this discussion, after thinking about it more, and also I've been thinking about things on the sidelines, such as maybe like the other little storyline bits that I didn't get, such as, well, Finn's always talking about how she lost her family's dead. And then there's Uncle Aaron that's always talking about, well, my family disowned me. And then Miles is like, I'm just trying to keep my family together because I lost part of mine. Like having those three perspectives. Like that is a very interesting storytelling. That last line of finally saying, "Why don't you ever give up? Because I'm Spider-Man." I mean, I still think the delivery on that line was kind of weird because it's like I'm Spider-Man.
Should have been like, I'm Spider-Man.
Kind of what they tried to do, but like the Venom punch was slow. I think if they would have like made it a little bit more intense and faster, or like made him do something else, or they should have put it when like the scene started happening where like things were tearing off. Then like, why are you still doing this? He's like, because I'm Spider-Man and all the.
Yeah, there could have been a different way for that line delivery. Like, I don't disagree there.
I think on pen and paper this game I could have liked this game better. I think in practice though, at the end of the day, like I already said that, but like to finalize it, to stop talking about it so we can wrap this video up, I'm sticking with my 5 out of 10.
I don't hate you for that by any means. I said you have your own opinion about it.
I hope you don't hate me because I would have been.
hate you.
No, Daniel, no! Don't stop it again. Don't start it again.
It's already been
my
said.
biggest thing is like, I don't even know what I was gonna say. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's valid to have their own opinion. I will not hate you for having an opinion. I will not hate Daniel for having an opinion. It was a game meant to entertain, and I feel that's what it did nonetheless.
Except for Chris. Chris was mad.
I mean, he even said himself he was engaged.
To be fair, I did get distracted. Like
You're
guys-
engaged? Congratulations.
Wait, what? Bro, I have to get out of my apartment if I what? No. Well, there was moments where I was captivated, where I was just playing to fight, and then I was genuinely upset when that 98 was only a 98.
Exactly. It may not be the entirety of the game, but like I said, for me, when I played through it in one sitting, more or less. I don't think I gave a moment's rest when I played through this the first time. And I never really touched it again after that, which is like...
Now that I think about it, I did beat it in one day, like the base storyline, because it was during COVID, so I had the time.
But thank you for sitting through all of this. We appreciate it.
If you did,
Thank
then
you guys for watching, honestly.
And if you did, like
no,
episode
no.
20.
if you did sit through all of this, then you're probably not the guy that said that we were racist. So we appreciate you guys not calling us racist. Or calling me racist, I guess. But if you do still call me racist anyway, that's going to kind of suck. I'll make an apology video. And I'll sing with the ukulele.
I have the ukulele.
I don't know how to play the ukulele, so it's going to be even
I'll
worse
teach
than the
you.
other.
I got 3 chords. That's all you need.
Anyways, we'll see you guys in the next project.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, muchachos.
Actually, they'll probably see us next in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I said the next project.
Yeah, I was just saying like a more specific thing.
Are we still recording?
Yeah.
Yes,
Just
it's